I've always been excited about investing. I've heard that if you start early, you could even retire young. But I kept putting it off. For years, I just left my savings in the bank, mostly because I was afraid and overwhelmed. Investing felt intimidating. What if I picked the wrong stock and lost money? It seemed so complicated that I just did nothing. Eventually, I decided I had to overcome that fear, so I turned to a classic book for guidance, The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Buffett calls it the best investing book ever. I didn't just read it, I was determined to apply its lessons. I wasn't looking for a get-rich-quick scheme or the latest fad. I just wanted a reliable framework to invest smartly and avoid costly mistakes. In this video, I'll share the key lessons I learned from The Intelligent Investor and how they changed the way I invest. I'll also show how I built a simple investment checklist using Graham's principles. If you've ever made an impulsive decision or lost sleep over market swings, I hope this approach helps you invest with more confidence and better peace of mind. So Benjamin Graham's big idea is simple but profound. Invest as if you're buying a piece of a business, not just a stock. He wrote that investing is more successful when it's most business-like. In practice, that means when you buy a stock, think of it as owning a piece of a real company with real products, earnings, and assets, not just a ticker symbol or a lottery ticket. Every company has an intrinsic value based on its fundamentals, and that value doesn't always match the market's price. With this big idea in mind, here are the 5 keys to intelligent investing. Key 1. Invest, don't speculate. Graham draws a clear line between investing and speculating. Investing means you have a sound reason for buying. You've done your homework, expect a reasonable return, and are confident your principal is safe. If you're just buying because the price is going up or because everyone else is, that's speculation. Before buying anything, ask yourself, do I understand how this company makes money? Have I studied its financials and risks? Would I be comfortable owning the entire business at this price? If you can't answer yes to all of those, don't invest and just move on. Sometimes admitting that you don't know is more than enough. Key 2. Know your investor type. Graham says you can either be a defensive investor, passive, aiming for safe average returns with minimal effort, or an enterprising investor, active, willing to put in a lot of time and research to beat the market. Be honest about what you really truly want to be. Neither approach is better or wrong, but each requires a different commitment level. If you can't dedicate serious time to research, you're better off being mostly defensive. Key 3. Harness Mr. Market. Graham personified the stock market as Mr. Market, a wildly emotional business partner. Every day, Mr. Market offers to buy your shares or sell you his, and his prices swings like a pendulum based on his mood. Some days he's optimistic and offers a high price, other days he's gloomy and offers a low price. The crucial lesson, you can ignore him if his price is ridiculous. This allegory taught me that stock prices often move on emotion, not reality. The intelligent investor doesn't get dragged along to Mr. Market's mood swings. Instead, you use them to your advantage. Key 4. Always demand a margin of safety. Graham's number 1 rule for safety is to never overpay for an investment. Always insist on a margin of safety, a built-in cushion between what you think a stock is worth and the price you pay. In simple terms, if you calculate that a company's stock is worth $100 per share, don't pay $100. Maybe you consider buying at $70 or $60. That $30 to $40 difference or gap is your safety net in case your analysis was off or the company hits a bump in the road. Why have a margin of safety? Because the future is uncertain, no matter how carefully you analyze. The cushion protects you from errors and bad luck. If you only buy when the stock is well below its intrinsic value, you greatly increase the odds of a good outcome. Key 5. Follow a checklist and stick to your plan. Knowing the principles is one thing, sticking to them is another. Graham's advice is to add structure to your process so you don't stray. He famously said to buy stocks like you buy groceries, not perfume. In other words, treat investing like a planned, rational shopping trip, not an impulsive splurge. To do this, I created an investment checklist that I use before buying any stock. It's basically a series of questions to make sure I've done my homework. For example, I ask, have I checked the company's financial health? Do I understand the business model? Did I consider a worst case scenario? Or do I have a margin of safety at the current price? If a stock doesn't check any of these boxes, I don't buy it, no matter how exciting the story or hype. The checklist acts as my guardrails. They enforce everything I've learned for Graham. When the market gets crazy, I fall back on my rules instead of my gut feelings. I feel in control because every decision is made with a clear process, not on guesswork. Before I wrap up, I want to recommend a few books that help reinforce these lessons for me. The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John Bogle is a great intro to simple index fund investing, which is perfect if you're planning to become a defensive investor. The Essays of Warren Buffett is a collection of Buffett's shareholder letters. It shows how Graham's principles work in real life and highlights the importance of fundamentals and a steady temperament. And for the psychology side of things, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel explores how our behavior and mindset impact financial success, echoing Graham's point that controlling your emotions is just as important as what you know. All these resources, along with Graham's book, share the same core message. Successful investing is about discipline, knowledge, and controlling your emotions. There's no magic formula. Just stick to sound principles even when it's hard. Thanks for watching and happy investing.